In the last video, we created a Google Analytics account under our main Google account, and we stopped at this part here. We were presented with this tracking code. Now we're at the point where we can finally take that last step before we can see the actual reports of our website analytics, and this step is to install this JavaScript code on the site that you're going to track. Now, I need to pause for a minute and say this is not an in-depth course on how to install Google Analytics, which can require some web development background. This course is mostly about how to use Google Analytics. In order to get you going, I'm going to show you the process for how you might install this code and a little bit how it works. But you should be warned that every website is different. And if you aren't familiar with how the code on your site works, you should stop right now and get the help of your site admin or developer. So for the sake of example, I'm going to show you a simple site, but again, it doesn't mean that your site is going to be coded in this exact same way. So if you're here and if you want to come back here, it's simple enough. If we're somewhere else, say back at the home screen, we would come back to the admin section down here. Come on over, select your account, select your property, and then come down here to tracking info and click on tracking code. And that's how you get back to this spot. We're going to simply copy this data here. It's got some more information here too. We've got our tracking ID, this UA number that often we're going to be asked for. And then of course, you'll notice this actually uses a Google Tag Manager on the background. We're going to paste this one in directly, but I want to have a quick plug for the Google Tag Manager course. If you have a lot of these scripts to track on your site, if you're going to be using a lot of tags, then I highly recommend you check that out. There is a Lynda course here I've done on Google Tag Manager, and it can really make your life a lot simpler when trying to manage all these different tags. But for the sake of this course, we're just going to grab this code here and copy that into there, and we're going to paste it into our site. Okay, so I'm going to show you our example site here. In fact, I'm going to use the site from the GTM course. And if we go and we look at the underlying code on here, we go to view page source, what we're going to see is, as they told us, go back to the analytics for a sec, it says we want to paste this as the first item into the head of every web page that we want to track. Okay, so we're going to go, and I've done just that. If we look into the header tag here, and what you'll see is exactly that script here. You'll recognize that UA number. It's been pasted as the first item here into the head tag. And we see that on the website. So again, you want to do that for every single page. And when this page loads, it's going to load our script here. It's got our account number, and it's going to send that data back to Google, where it's going to be captured into our account and added to our reports. Now again, how you get this pasted into the head on here, whether it's an include file, whether you go through something like WordPress.com or Wix or something that'll have built-in ways to do this, where they'll just ask you to take the UA number and paste that directly in, and it will take care of the rest of that. That's going to be up to your site, and you should consult your developer. But one way or another, we need to get this code on the page. Okay, so now we've got a tracking code on here. We go back to our page here, we can check our status and see if there's traffic received here, and we see there is one active user on here right now. Of course, that's me. You can send test traffic if you like. So as far as installing goes, this is about it. Now we sit back and we wait for the data to come in for users to visit our website and for the data to come into our reports so we can analyze our users. While we wait for that, I've got a couple more things we're going to do in the next chapter, kind of back up and talk about the ecosystem and maybe pull in some demo data so we can get right away into analyzing.